Capital News tonight. The government has assured that it is taking all necessary measures to address current power challenges in the country. NCBA Bank launches a campaign that aims to empower businesses. And in sports news, Azam FC facing Gida Fountain Gate at Azam Complex Stadium on Thursday. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. The government has said that it will take all necessary measures to address current power challenges that include power rationing so as to ensure there is reliable electricity in the country. The statement was made in Dar es Salaam by Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa at the 5th Energy Conference that was also attended by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, Dr. Doto Biteko.
Main elements of the energy policy, including developing domestic energy resources that are the least cost option, promoting economic energy pricing, improving energy reliability and security, and enhancing energy efficiency, encouraging private sector participation in the economy, reducing forest depletion, and developing human resources. Today, we have brought different experts and stakeholders with vast experiences in the sector to be able to look into these elements and come up with a fruitful deliberation on how to achieve sustainable social and economic development. Let me reiterate that energy is key to achieving the industrialization goal, which is ultimately a path for the improvement of the welfare and living standard of people.
The agenda of this Congress covers a wide range of areas of energy industry, including petroleum, value chain, from exploration, production, distribution, renewable energy, and transition energy. The energy sector plays an important role in a socio-economic development of our society. However, over 675 million people still lack access to electricity.
This event has also attracted hundreds of exhibitors and sponsors, combining over 4 years with new project updates, latest technologies, and so forth. The Congress has also become the world-class conference with very high-profile speakers, delegates, insightful sessions, including ministers from around the world, as mentioned before. The conference has also created opportunities for Tanzanians and also our country to sell itself to the world.
The Dar es Salaam Rapid Transit Agency, DART, has started the process for installation of a new intelligent transport system that aims to facilitate the operations of rapid bus transport in Dar es Salaam through scheduling and communication services.
Among DART agents, our contractors, and our key stakeholders. Now, the key stakeholders include LATRA as a regulator, the Police Force of Tanzania, people from key departments such as municipal councils and other government agencies to discuss and prepare the roadmap on how we can implement the initiative of coming up with intelligent transport system that will be integrated with the automated fare collection system of DART, so that we can be able to schedule our buses efficiently and we can be able to tap the fare amount that we deserve as an agency as we provide the service to our commuters. The contract will be implemented within a span of 14 months from the date that we signed. And therefore, we expect sometimes next year, during the same period of time, the ITS will be in place.
DART Executive Director Dr. Edwin Mhede also said the system is expected to start next year and that Spanish company IDOM will be responsible for the design work and provide necessary infrastructure for the system.
There's already a fare collection system which is already purchased by DART, and it will be integrated on all the ITS platform which is going to be built for the management of the corridor and for security purposes and planning purposes. So it's going to be a compound of many different systems which have to work together in an integrated way. So these ITM systems will be a fleet management system, surveillance systems with cameras for all the stops, the buses of the BRT, and many other ancillary systems, including the whole communication infrastructure for all the 6 phases, 6 corridors of BRT.
More than 4,260 residents from 22 villages in 6 wards of Mtwara District Council have been compensated for crops lost in order to pave way for construction of the 35-kilometer Ntoria natural gas pipeline to Madimba.
Zoezi hili tumebakiwa na watu 203. Kuna watu walilipwa awamu ya kwanza, kuna watu wamelipwa awamu ya pili, kuna watu wamelipwa awamu ya tatu. Watu hao 203 ambao tunatarajia kufanya nao malipo kuanzia leo ni wale ambao hawakuwasilisha account. Kwa hiyo vitu ambavyo viliharibiwa kipindi cha zoezi viliwekewa pale kwamba kama ni mikorosho imeharibika mingapi, kama ni miogo, kama ni miembe, vitu vyote viliwekwa pale. Kwa hiyo hivyo ndio vitu ambavyo vinatakiwa kulipwa, na havilipwi kwa bei ya kutungwa, vinalipwa kwa bei ya serikali ambao kila zao lina bei yake kutokana na ukuaji wake.
Tuko hapa kwa ajili ya kulipa fidia kwa waathirika wa mazao 203. Hao 203 ni zao la wale ambao tulikuwa jumla ya project yetu yote ilikuwa ina jumla ya watu 4269. Tulifanikiwa kulipa watu 4066 kwa thamani ya bilioni 1 na milioni 500. Ikabakia milioni 65 kwa watu 203 tulishindwa kuwalipa kutokana na walikuwa na changamoto.
Ni safi sana na changamka. Kwa sababu kidogo nilipigika sana yani. Kweli najisikia unyonge sana kwa sababu pesa ya siku nyingi. Kwa kweli leo najisikia furaha sana. Shamba langu lilikuwa kubwa, lina kubwa kama 1000 hivi. Na maana nilikuwa na mazao ya muhogo, mbazi, kitu kama hicho.
Umeridhika na malipo?
Nimeridhika kwa sababu nilichokipata ndio haki yangu.
Now, United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, and the European Union have commended the government of Tanzania for making significant steps to achieve the national vision of having the 80% of use of clean cooking solutions. The developments were revealed by the program manager of the European Union delegation in Tanzania, Max Petretti, and UNCDF Senior Finance Specialist and Cook Fund Program Manager Emmanuel Muro during an interview with Capital Television.
Already the Ministry of Energy and several other ministries which are involved under the leadership of the Prime Minister's office have initiated, and now we have the national vision for clean cooking energy. And several stakeholders have been involved, and all key participants have been involved to ensure that it's inclusive in terms of the national agenda and the policy priorities. So I'm sure if we'll be committed to the call from the President, we are going to achieve not only 80% is, but rather more than 80%.
Over to you, Max, now. Around the same area of the implementation of the national vision, and understanding that EU is the major funder of the Cook Fund program, what is your observation on the national vision?
My observation, my recommendation is to consider it a process, and the process has necessary stages of development. And it's important that when we rightly forbid one solution because it's harmful, at the same time we provide an alternative solution, or more than one. So it's important that we always see incentives which counteract what is no longer possible or legal to adopt. Because people have to cook. It's a primary need, and that we cannot stop people from cooking.
Election result for Mbarali constituency in Beira region have announced Bahati Ndingo from CCM as the winner after getting 44,334 votes, with close rivals from ACT Wazalendo Party, Dickson Kilufi, getting 10,014 votes.
Chini ya kanuni ya 69 kifungu kidogo cha pili ya kanuni za uchaguzi wa rais na wabunge za mwaka 2020, lakini pia kwa mujibu wa kifungu cha 81A na B cha sheria ya taifa ya uchaguzi sura ya 343, kwa mamlaka niliyopewa na Tume ya Taifa ya Uchaguzi, ninakutangaza rasmi Bahati Kenneth Ndingo kupitia Chama cha Mapinduzi au CCM kuwa umechaguliwa kuwa mbunge wa jimbo la Mbarali katika halmashauri ya wilaya ya Mbarali.
Nampongeza kwa ushindi wake, kwa sababu tulikuwa wengi, lazima patikane mmoja. Kwa hiyo mimi namtakia kila laheri katika safari ya kuongoza wanambarali. Mimi namtakia kila laheri akawatumikia wanambarali, na pale atakapohitaji ushirikiano wangu nitampa, lakini nimefarijika kwamba ni miongoni mwa wanambarali, tunabadilishana. Kwa hiyo sina wasiwasi na Bahati, najua anaweza kufanya kazi akashirikiana na hasi wenzake vizuri.
Imani yetu kwa watu wa Mbarali na imani yao waliotuonyesha Chama cha Mapinduzi, wanaamini bado Chama cha Mapinduzi ndio suluhu ya matatizo yao. Na mimi kwa kushirikiana na viongozi wengine wa chama, ninaamini tutakwenda kufanya kazi iliyotukuka kwa ajili ya Mbarali. Baada ya kusema hayo, niwashukuru sana wenzangu wote ambao tumeshiriki, lakini mawazo yenu, maono yenu, tutaendelea kushirikiana kwa maslahi mapana ya watu wa Mbarali.
Now, the government has said that it will continue to create conducive environment for local and foreign involvement stakeholders in order to ensure organizations providing social welfare services operate by adhering to laws and regulations of the country.
Ni matarajio ya serikali ya awamu ya 6 kuwa mtaendelea kushirikiana nasi kwa kutoa mchango wa kitaalamu na rasilimali fedha katika kuimarisha huduma za jamii kwa wananchi wetu kupitia miradi inayotekeleza na kufanikisha utekelezaji wa vipaumbele vya wizara ambavyo ni pamoja na kukamilisha mchakato uandaaji rasimu ya sheria ya huduma ya ustawi wa jamii nchini.
That brought so many leaders together to advance efforts, mobilize resources, and bring political leadership to reduce and eradicate extreme poverty is now showing positive trajectory. In fact, this is off track unless we bring it back if we continue with the current pace, we will not achieve what we dreamed, what we targeted by 2030, which means the progress of implementing education for all children, access to children in terms of healthcare, water, many things that children and young people would get would not be possible. Actually, it is exacerbated because of armed conflict, the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, and also the climate change that brought hunger to many communities.
And in our special report from Germany this week, European leaders are discussing measures to deal with the high number of arrivals of refugees. The Italian island of Lampedusa has become an epicenter with a sharp rise in arrivals by boat. European Commission President von der Leyen visited the island and promised a plan to deal with the situation. For more on this, we're joined by DW correspondent Thomas Farr from Berlin. Thomas, what does the 10-point plan include?
Short-term, the plan includes in particular help towards Italian authorities and authorities in the island of Lampedusa to help those who have already arrived. In other words, to register them, to then refer them to the specific authorities that will continue to deal with them as they move to other parts of Italy and to other parts of Europe. So that's the sort of urgent element in the plan. If you look at medium to maybe long-term proposals in that 10-point plan presented by EU Commission leader Ursula von der Leyen, you can see in particular the issue of Frontex. Frontex is the external border agency of the European Union, and the plans include stepping up efforts by Frontex to fight people smugglers. Another important element is working closer with countries of origin and transit in Northern Africa, in Sub-Saharan Africa as well. Some of the countries involved there, some of the countries mentioned in that 10-point plan include Tunisia, which is a very important country of transit, but also other countries of origin, including Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal and Guinea.
So how realistic is the plan, and how are other countries like Germany reacting? Germany, after all, has also been under pressure following the arrival of high numbers of asylum seekers.
It's an important question whether this plan is realistic, because we've seen in the past that European leaders and European countries do not necessarily see eye to eye when it comes to migration. So bringing these plans to fruition, making them realistic, is definitely the next challenge for European authorities. Also for authorities in several of the countries that are most affected. Germany is one of the countries that is most affected by the arrival of refugees, because many of those who arrive, for example, in Lampedusa, want to actually move further north. They want to go to other countries like Germany. So Germany has certainly seen an increase in the arrival of asylum seekers compared to 2022. And this has meant that also here in Germany there has been a very big debate as to what authorities should do to help those in need, but also to help local, regional and national authorities that are trying obviously to deal with this situation. One of the issues that is being discussed is a possible upper limit for the number of refugees, an issue that was also debated, by the way, in 2015 and 2016 during the so-called refugee crisis. But this is an issue that for now the German government is not planning to introduce.
How is the issue of refugees affecting public opinion?
In the past few months, the issue of migration, talking specifically here in Germany, was not at the top of the agenda. It has been an important issue politically, but if you specifically look at public opinion, there were other issues that were more urgent. For example, the economic situation in the country or reactions to the war in Ukraine. But recent polls have revealed that the issue of migration and the problems and opportunities attached to the issue of migration have become a more important issue for Germans. And a recent poll, for example, revealed that the two issues that Germans believe are most important for authorities are the economic situation on the one hand and migration and refugees on the other. So this essentially means that not only for authorities, not only for the government, the issue of migration is becoming more important, also for Germans and also for public opinion, this issue is increasingly important and urgently needed to be resolved.
Thank you, Thomas, for the update. And that is the end of National News. Business News is next after this break. Welcome back, and in business news tonight. More than 14,000 farmers in Misungwi, Kwimba and Magu districts in Mwanza region have started to benefit from cooperation between Tanzania and Brazil on research and the use of technology that aims to improve cotton production.
Toka tani tunazozalisha sasa hivi tani 12, tani 13, 14, tunataka twende tani 40. Ili tuwapatie bodi ya pamba mbegu za kutosha, mbegu za daraja la awali, na wapeleke sehemu nyingine, tuhakikishe mbegu inapatikana ya kutosha ya zao la pamba nchini Tanzania. Mradi uliweka lengo tufikie wakulima 8,400 kwa mwaka huu mmoja. Mpaka muda huu naongea tumefikia wakulima zaidi ya 10,000.
Serikali tunachoomba ni kwamba elimu hii iendelee. Tunajua kwamba sisi wananchi pengine tunakuwa wazito kuelewa au kuona matokeo, lakini mimi naamini kwamba itakavyoendelea na kuendelea tutaweza kutoka pale tulipo na kuweza kwenda mbele zaidi, kwa sababu utaona kama tulikuwa tunalima lakini hatufaidi, lakini kwa sasa hivi tunaenda tunafaidika.
NCBA Bank has launched a campaign called Maisha ni Hesabu that aims to enable customers add value to their business activities.
Maisha yao kupitia biashara zao. Na kama benki tuna mpango au tuna strategy yetu kubwa ni kwa ajili ya kufikia wateja wakubwa pamoja na ile teta mnyororo mzima wa wateja wakubwa. Na tumejikita katika sekta mbalimbali ikiwemo usafirishaji, uzalishaji bidhaa, usambazaji wa bidhaa mbalimbali.
And Tanzania Revenue Authority TRA has implemented an inspection operation on use of electric fiscal devices, EFTs, in Kilimanjaro region, with officers of the authority saying there has been growing awareness on the importance of the device for tax collection.
Wito wangu kwa wafanyabiashara au walipa kodi ambao bado wanaendelea kukwepa kulipa kodi, wajitokeze na washauri wajitokeze, wafike ofisi za TRA zilizo karibu na maeneo yao ya biashara ili waweze kwenda kusajiliwa, waweze kupata tini na kuweza kukadiriwa kodi, waweze kulipa kwa ajili ya kuongeza pato la taifa.
Nafanya hii biashara ya mtumba na mauzo ya mashine yanatusaidia kwenye kumbukumbu zetu. Kwa kuna faida zake. Badala kuandika sana tunatumia mashine inahifadhi kumbukumbu zetu.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news is next. In sports news, the NBC Premier League has resumed with various games having been played, where on Thursday Singida Fountain Gate will face Azam FC at the Azam Complex Stadium in Dar es Salaam, with what is expected to be a tough game.
Vitu viwili. Kulipa kisasi pia tunahitaji pointi 3 kwa sababu mpaka sasa tumecheza mechi 2 na tuna pointi 2, kitu ambacho malengo yetu sio haya. Kwa nafikiri kikubwa ni vyote viwili, kisasi pamoja na pointi 3. Ambacho naweza kusema walimu pia wamekiona kwa makosa ambayo tulifanya kwenye ngao ya jamii yamefanyiwa kazi. Kwa nafikiri kwa mechi ya kesho haitatokea.
Kwenye mapambano lazima tujipange vizuri kwa sababu ina wachezaji wazuri na juzi kati imetoka kushinda mechi ya kimataifa. Kwa hiyo tunaichukulia mechi ni ngumu. Yeah.
The former vice chairman of Simba Sports Club, Geoffrey Nyange, has called on club leaders to respect the role played by coaches and stop interfering with their responsibilities. The statement comes a day after the coach of Singida Fountain Gate, Ernest Mindendorp, resigned only 2 weeks after taking over the team.
Ukishaajiri maana yake unatakiwa uwape nafasi wafanye kazi ili wewe uweze kuwahukumu kama atashindwa kufanya kazi. Kwa sababu inapotokea kama unamuingilia mwalimu katika kwa mfano upangaji wa kikosi na vitu kama vile, sasa kama msipopata matokeo maana yake ni kwamba uongozi unakosa ile nguvu ya kuanza kumshambulia nani? Mwalimu. Kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu umemwingilia katika majukumu yake.
In another development, Geita Gold and Geita Queen football teams have received sports gear from stakeholders in the region to enable them to perform well in their leagues this season.
Katika vifaa hivi tumeweka mipira ya miguu, mipira ya pete, mipira ya basketball, lakini pia kuna vifaa vya mazoezi vimeambatanishwa pamoja kwa ajili ya kufanyia mazoezi.
Vifaa hivi vitakuwa chachu ya kuonesha namna gani tumejipanga kuboresha viwanja mbalimbali vya michezo. Tukianza na kiwanja chetu cha nyumbani cha Nyankumbu Machinjioni hatoki mtu, mmeona maboresho tuliweza kuyafanya na tunaendelea kuyafanya.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.